Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be recapping my round 3 game that I played in the Western Class Championships. And you might be wondering, why did I not upload round 1 and round 2? What happened to them? Basically, this tournament is a 5-round tournament and only rounds 3, 4, and 5 are FIDE rated. And as of this point, I'm really only focused on trying to get my FIDE rating up and showing that journey. So I didn't really feel like uploading round 1 and round 2. So I'll just tell you what happened. Round 1, I played a 2100 and I drew. And in the second round, I got absolutely destroyed by a GM. And I don't know, how that happened. And now in the third round, I'm playing one of my friends, 1865 FIDE. So hopefully that answered the question, why is my rating so low? That's my FIDE. And yeah, I'll just get on with the game. He plays the Carol Khan, and I do the advanced variation, and more specifically, I play H4. I don't really have a lot of match experience with this opening, but I had an idea of what I was gonna do. And he plays this H5 line. You could go H6 here, also, which I can then go G4, and if you try going back, there's some sort of E6, and if you try taking the pawn, which is not the best move, then sometimes white can get a really big advantage in this position. And then also if you go back, then I'm gonna play h5, just grabbing more space, and I like this position for me. And also I think you can play queen c8 sometimes to try and stop g4, maybe not. He just goes h5 and I play c4 and develop my pieces, and he goes knight d7. Obviously, one of his ideas is trying to get c5, and I'm just trying to protect my center. And I then take this knight here. And you might be wondering, why am I just giving up a bishop for a knight, like the bishop pair and stuff like that? Well, this bishop was not developed yet, and to just get it out of the board is totally fine to do. And this knight could potentially be an issue if it tries to get to g4 or f5. And by taking this knight, he either has to take with the pawn and surrender to a really bad pawn structure, after which I could try exploiting with knight f4, or he has to take with the rook, which is what he did in the game, and stop his right, remove his right from castling kingside. And so now I go knight f4, and here he goes queen a5. He's trying to castle queenside, and I decide to trade these bishops, and after castle's queenside, he's now threatening e5, and I decide to go queen to c2, and I thought if I go queen e2, he might just do this to annoy me, and I just didn't want to waste the move. So queen c2 it is, and he goes knight b6, I castle, king b8, and I go king b1, protecting my queen side. If I tried to just, okay, let's just say if I go here, I saw something like this, and obviously I can't take because queen takes a2, and if b takes a3, then knight a4, and this is a big issue. This rook can come into the game, if c5, opening up the position, and I'm in huge trouble here. So king b1 to protect the queen side, queen b4, and I protect my center, and I decide to get my knight to e4. I'm trying to get my knight in one of these squares. These are some really nice outposts or entry points to break his kingside structure. And here goes knight c4, threatening something. Threatening knight a3 check. If I go here, for example, there's knight takes a3, winning the queen. So I go rook d3, protecting that. And now queen b5, renewing the threat of knight to a3 check. And so I just go rook b3. And now I'm looking towards his king side for any potential weaknesses. He goes queen d5, and I bring my rook to the center. I'm now threatening a lot of things like knight f4, maybe bring this rook here. I'm starting to get a foothold of what I want to do in the position. And now I bring my rook, and now I go knight f4, forking these two pawns, but he has this queen c4 move, attacking this pawn, and I saw if I just take everything, he has this move knight takes e5, I'm giving him back his I'm losing my extra pawn advantage, and I don't really have an advantage in this game anymore. In fact, if anything, black might have something with any potential doubling on the d files. So, and if queen c4, if I just take right away, I saw this, and rook takes, knight takes g7, my knight's trapped here after queen e5. Definitely don't want that to happen, so I decide to attack the queen b4, and I try to look for ways to trap the queen, but I couldn't find any, so I just settled on trading, going to rook d3, and now he goes g6, protecting his pawn. And he's just going to try to keep a very solid position and just defend his one weakness, the f7 pawn. I'm going to try to reroute my knights, my rooks, maybe get my king to protect my center, and try to win that pawn. That's now the whole purpose of the game. He's going to try and defend this pawn. I'm going to try and win it. We'll see who wins. I decide to reroute my knight to g5, and I decided to take with the knight, but I was debating taking with the pawn. Maybe so rook f6 would that would be more of an outpost for me. But I decided to take with the knight, which is still totally fine. Rook c8, trying to get c5, and I just push the knight back, and I go knight e4. And I'm now threatening all sorts of entry points here. Knight to c5, knight d6, and also with combination of rook to f3 attacking this pawn. Black, if he doesn't play correctly, could be in serious trouble. Now he goes rook d8. I just decided to bring my king up, and I'm kind of struggling to find a way to attack this pawn. And then I find my idea. After knight c8, knight g5, rook c7, rook f3, now my idea is I'm going to try to bring my rooks up here, and I'm going to try to get my knight to d6. And okay, just to demonstrate what that, just to go back a few moves, just to demonstrate what that looks like. Here, then I was looking at something like this that would potentially happen as rook f6, here, and here. I was looking to get something like this because I know this is winning for me, because he can't take the rook, because this rook's trapped, can't go back, because I take, and rook d6, then I just take, and this really nice idea to get this pawn promoted. But he just goes knight c8, defending that square, and it's just sort of me rerouting all my pieces to try and get them to where I want it to be. And I repeat twice, and I go knight d6. I don't want to go, this is threefold repetition, and so I want to have like a and if I go I went knight d6 here, and I'm just rerunning my pieces because I want a shift in the position, which is what I get by doing b4. I also kind of stop any sort of c5 stuff, and now the position shifted, it's changed, which means now there's no more threefold repetition, and more moves are gonna go by. And all this happened, and here he goes the move I want, which is rook to d8. He honestly maybe could have tried going here, just defending the square, although maybe after rook f4 it's a little bit dangerous for him, although I don't think so, because he always has, this pawn is always hanging for him, which is kind of annoying for me. But he goes here, and now I get my knight to d6. And now I know the only move, or I know he's gonna go rook to d7, because that's just instinct. Like, your instinct is not to go here and get this like really weird position, although that's probably the best move here, because this frees up room for this rook. So now my idea of doing this doesn't work because he has this, saving his rook. So he goes here, and now I go rook f6, and he only has one saving move here, and you guys can pause the video, try to find it maybe. The only move here to save himself is knight c8, and then I have to go back, and then this idea does not work without the knight on d. Actually, this now works. I was looking for something like this, but he now has rook d4, and this is just like totally fine for him. This pawn is super weak. He'll collect this, I'll collect this, and maybe this, and we're gonna get like a position where maybe just ignore that this knight's hanging. Maybe um okay, something like this where it's probably going to be a draw, but this didn't happen because he went here, blundering the game, because now I have this idea. He can't take again because I take and the rook's trapped. He now brings his king and I just win this pawn. And I take with the knight, I captures rook with the knight. I didn't want to take with the rook because I saw maybe, okay, he defends his pawn. I can't do something like this because he goes here. And knight g5, I know I'm attacking his pawn. It's not like a clear-cut way forward, but I had an idea of trying to go f3 g4 to try to either weaken this guy or to try to create a pass pawn on the king side. And I can also reroute my knight all the time to go here to threaten these guys because they're also pretty weak. Like, I knew this is most likely winning, but I didn't want to blunder any sort of fortress. So I just took the knight to keep the rook on the board, just to apply more pressure to these pawns. I know if I can get them off the board, I'm probably going to win the game. I attack that pawn, I go rook f8. I'm going to go around the back. I'm trying to go here and also go around the back, try to attack this person and or this pawn. And I knew if he went here to try to stop me from going here, I can always go here. And there's now no stopping rook b7. If he goes here, 96 check, and I know this is winning because now I have a protected e past pawn. And he goes b6, saving his pawn, but not saving the game because after all this, now he's skewered, and he tried blocking it, and now rook c7, and in this position he resigns the game because after all this, 96, knight g7, I have this passed pawn, I'm up a knight, and I probably should win the game. So that was a solid game, 1.5 out of 3. I guess that kind of makes up for the how badly I got destroyed in that second round, although you guys never saw it. Comment down below if you want to see that game. Maybe it will be interesting to you guys. And I will upload my round 4 recap the next day. And that's it. Anyways, that's all for today, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Goodbye, everyone.